to another episode, can you fucking believe it, of Cat Calls. And today I need you to give not just a clap for the guest, I need you to wish happy fucking birthday to today's guest, because today is the actual day to the day that this project was born 6 years ago. So everyone give a big round of applause to Party Pupils. Wait, I'm gonna make the applause happen. Yeah, party applause, party birthday. Everybody's surfing. Okay, I'm so excited to welcome Party Pupils to the show. And now technically, Party Pupils is a duo between two gentlemen named Ryan and Max. But Ryan is joining us solo today, and he really runs the helm of the project because Max has a solo career as a pop singer as well. If you don't know Max, you need to go check him out. Ryan actually plays in his band live, which is why he missed our first date here on Cat Calls back in October of last year, when I was going to have him and his buddy and frequent collaborator, Pat Locke, on the program. Pat, it gets all mixed up. But Pat let us know how insanely talented Ryan is. He plays like 500 instruments, maybe like 4. But still, he plays a lot of instruments. That's more than I play. And he consistently produces some of the funkiest music on the market under the Party Pupils flag. I'm going to prove it to you right now by playing his latest single, Break It Down, which I did feature in my Cat Scrawls playlist. Cat Scrawls is my newsletter on Substack that you're welcome to subscribe to and support me. And if you're not following my Cat Scrawls playlist on Spotify, you're really missing out, because I put really fresh tunes on it every week or every other week whenever I get around to doing it. But it's very good, and I'm going to prove it to you by playing Break It Down, Party Pupils' latest single. I am so excited, and when I come back, I will have Party Pupils on the line. But you have to make sure that you bring your birthday cake and your birthday hats and your birthday questions, because this is your show as much as it is my show. And I know Dinosaur Shoddy probably has some questions for Ryan, and I know Clearly Blurry probably does, and Torden Strike always comes up with good questions. Anyway, I'm glad you liked my Potaro backpack as well. I got that at Second Sky last year. No more talking. This is Break It Down by Party Pupils.
Break it down, turn up the bass when you hear that sound. Drop it to the ground, drop it to the ground. Break it down, turn up the bass when you hear that sound. Drop it to the ground, drop it to the ground.
And we're live. Hello. And we have our glasses on.
Glasses crew, that's right. It's all about the glasses.
Swedish Tay Mafia says, hi, Ryan. Dinosaur Shoddy says, there he is. And everyone was banging to Break It Down while we were in the green room, although everything looks orange to me right now.
Yeah.
So
it's so good to be here. I'm glad we're hanging out.
Yeah, me too. I was just explaining to Ryan that I am now in South Florida. I was in Berkeley when we were originally supposed to talk a year ago. You're in LA, no?
I am.
Yes.
Yeah. I'm from New York, but I've been in LA for almost 10 years now. And I consider myself a lifer here now.
All right, you've adopted it. That's a big statement for somebody who's from New York. Like,
Yeah. There's two types of New Yorkers. There are people who they hate LA, and then there are people from New York who absolutely want to get out of New York for all the same reasons that people love it.
Yeah,
So,
exactly. Yeah.
I like space. I like the weather here. I like, I love New York. Don't get me wrong. I'm a New Yorker at heart. No question about it.
Of course.
My attitude is New York. My work ethic is New York. But I definitely don't want to live there. It's a great place to visit.
Yeah. I totally get there. You're also a giant Sopranos fan, which is super New York of you.
One of the biggest. I have to say, I think I'll take the Pepsi challenge on with anyone when it comes to my knowledge and obsession with The Sopranos.
Hell yeah.
Borderline unhealthy.
Is it? So I wish I could test you on that right now. If anyone in the chat has obscure Sopranos questions, let's put them to the Pepsi challenge. But I only just watched it for the first time during quarantine. I'm one of those people. So I've seen the whole show. Yeah, I have to say it was fucking incredible, and soundtrack spot on. But what makes you love The Sopranos so much? Why is that the show?
So it's hard to put like put my finger on just one thing. There's so many layers to the show,
That-
and
yeah.
there's definitely somewhat of being from New York, being from New York, New Jersey area, tri-state area. There's a relatability to at least the way that people talk, and not that I've never known anyone in the mafia, but
So
I
he
have
says
a
in
Italian-
public. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah. Right, exactly. Not that I know of, at least. But no, I have my father's Jewish and my mom's Irish Italian, and so what the show, and obviously if you've seen something like Goodfellas or Casino or anything like that, there's these shows kind of represent what a lot of people from New York and New Jersey come from, and it's just this. You don't have to be a mafia person to relate with just the everyday life of deli meats and overbearing grandmother and there and family, and there's just like a way of talking, and there's like when someone enters the room they go, there he is,
Oh, that's what somebody said too in the chat. Wow, great mind. Okay, that must
there
be
he
another.
is. Just having a nickname for everyone, like it never ends, and the way that it's been written, I mean, first of all, the show itself was the first of its kind to be an off-network, subscription-based cable show like that.
It was like the
drama.
first big HBO show.
It was.
I don't know if my
first-
brain
yeah.
even really put those things together.
Yeah, it really set the standard and the blueprint for what not only just HBO did after that, but for all TV shows.
Yeah.
I think every TV show, every creator from there mimicked kind of the way that The Sopranos did it for an hour-long drama. So it's
True.
just an incredible show. It aged like fine wine.
Oh, it really did. Which
and
is
there's just every time
appropriate for a show with a lot of wine.
Yeah, well, and that's the other thing. And I'm not the only one, because I've had this conversation with many people. But the show, I don't know if you found this, but the show makes me hungry.
Yeah.
Like I actually want to drink
It's like-
wine and eat pasta.
Yeah, it's one of the only shows where I think you actually see people eat too. Like if you watch TV
Oh, yeah.
now, it's like people are always sitting in front of food, but never like fucking eating it.
Oh, yeah.
And that show,
No, and
like everyone's eating.
The eating parts of the show are so
Yo,
indicative.
just Tony's
of,
breath. Like Tony's breath
Oh.
is a character. He's just like,
Oh yeah. Yeah, and it just gets worse as the show goes on. Like it's more noticeable as like you get to the last season, and he's just like tired, and he's just breathing heavy, and,
It's
and they
so
make
good.
it a part of the show. It's it's like very intentional.
Yeah, it's a really
So-
thoughtful show. And to your point, and I know we won't just talk about Sopranos all day, even though it sounds like
Oh,
you would be okay with
I
that.
could.
But
Yeah.
I
How
really
much time you got?
I really appreciated about it that like it touches on, okay, so it first premiered in like, I don't know, 2000, like
1999.
1999, right? So, and then it lasted for how many seasons? What year
it was
did it
technically
end?
technically 6 seasons, but it's 86 episodes.
I love this.
So-
Yeah, I'm
so
Pepsi
6
challenging
seasons,
you
but-
without even you knowing I was doing it.
Yeah, the last season actually has an A and a B because it's they split it up
That's
over
right.
2 years.
That's right.
And so technically it is 6, but the last season has, I believe, 20 episodes in it.
Well, my
So-
point was it touches on so many issues that I think we think define our era now. All these like social justice topics that we're grappling with so much. And they do it in a way that, I don't think people would have the guts to talk about these subjects in a mainstream television series now. They're making really salient and great points via these awful characters who like
Yes.
don't necessarily say the right thing, but that's truer to life than we even get on TV now. So
Absolutely. It's so brilliantly written that it's obviously a satire, and so some of the topics that they've chosen over the course of the show are definitely politically charged stuff or racially charged and sexually charged, all things that like at this point when you go back, and I think it's one of the reasons why people like you who ended up finding it in during quarantine, it had such a resurgence because a new generation is discovering it and realizing like, wow, some of these topics, when they find out that one of their capos is gay,
Yeah.
it's the whole couple episodes surrounding that topic reveals some of the most incredible ignorance, but also kind of the soft underbelly of how some of these guys like Tony and a couple of the other guys truly actually feel, where they're like, you know what? It's really not that big of a deal, but I have to act like it is because everybody else is going to act like it is. And it's, you know, whatever, I'm a big Mafia guy, but it's like, it's truly the nuance behind it. It's absolutely just the most brilliant show I think ever written, in my opinion. So.
Hell yeah. Well, I'm so glad that we got to just riff about that show for a solid,
I will keep going. You have to stop me from it because it's legitimately my favorite thing to talk about besides music.
It's so good. Well, it's fun that we opened with your latest single, Break It Down, and then we literally just like broke it down on your favorite show.
I'm here to break everything down, from Sopranos to music to everything.
I've got some boxes left over from my move. Can you break those down for me?
You know, that was going to be a next video that I had. That's funny you say that, because I was going to make a video, a TikTok video, something just me literally just like breaking down cardboard boxes to that song. And it's just like, wow, it's quite literal. Oh, okay. But yeah, no, new single just came out. Super excited about it. Had another one before that with Kaleena Zanders.
Me Without You. Kaleena is my girl, by the way. That song is also a fucking jam, and she is such a fucking jewel. Like, I can only imagine. Now, there's so many things that I want to talk to you about, but we might as well, since you brought it up. Were you able to be in the studio with Kaleena working on that at all, or is that something that happened over voice notes and, you know, whatever happens
good
in
question.
LA?
We ended up because we met during the pandemic, definitely like in the heart of it. So like I actually remember when we finally connected, and it was like when COVID was just raging out of control, especially in LA, and we so badly wanted to get together, and we just, you know, nobody felt safe doing it. So in the meantime, I told her, I was like, look, until we can get in the studio together or a Zoom session, I was like, why don't you hit me with some ideas that you have? If you've got any vocals, like acapellas, anything that hasn't been finished, that is up for grabs, that you know, maybe want to just throw my way, see how it comes out, you know, just as a holdover. We'll see what happens. No pressure. And so she sent that vocal over, and I was just like, oh.
Yeah, right? Like, just send some shit over, whatever you got, some bits and bobs.
I was like, clear my schedule to nobody. I was like, clear my schedule. I was like, I'm going to make this the next priority. So she sent me the vocal, and it was cool because like the original version was kind of was slower and a little bit more of like an alternative rock song, if you can believe it.
Yeah, she has a lot of alternative rock roots, actually. That's where a lot of her background comes from. Yeah.
Actually, you know, I'm going to do something real quick. Hold on.
Fucking do it!
2 seconds.
No worries. I'll talk to the insane chat in the background. While you have been chatting about all this really cool, powerful vocal, Kaleena Zanders and soprano stuff. Oh, shit! He brought out a fucking guitar!
Yeah, so basically the original version of this song was like, it was like, keep in the skies, I gotta cover up, I compromise.
Ooh, I feel like I need different glasses for this. Wait, we're switching up the vibe.
Yeah, it was straight up.
It's a little tropical the way you're playing it.
I'm so bad with lyrics, but it was a guitar. I'm not me without you.
Dinosaur Shoddy wants to know if this is an unreleased Jonas Brothers song.
It legitimately, like, honestly, and I say this because I love Jonas Brothers, but like that it could have been it was very straightforward, and then the way my mind works, as soon as I hear a demo or something like that, I'm just like, all right,
Funk it up.
How can I make this into a, you know.
Ooh, that's what we know and love.
You know, so I just started like messing with it, and it was so fun. Just started making a disco, and I ran with it and finished it in like a week, and we sat on it for 2 years.
Wow.
Yeah. It was one of those things where it you know how it is, the business side of things. It takes a little while to figure out where a home for it was. We were just finishing up we were signed. Party Peoples was we signed to Dim Mak for a while, and then we were just trying to figure out if we were going to do another deal with them, and it was taking a really long time to figure out where the next home was for our music. And so we knew this record was such a tremendous record, and we didn't want to just like throw it out into the wind and see what happens. We wanted it to have like a proper home. So finally, after 2 years, it made its way, and Kaleena signed a deal with Helix Records, and they were fantastic. They put out the record, and and it's been doing its thing, and it's just great to have it out because the reaction was so positive, and it's like I see it as like a timeless record. You're not gonna listen to that and say like, oh, that's such a 2022 record. I mean, classic disco never dies.
Exactly.
So yes. I think we nailed it on that one.
I totally agree, and yeah. It's interesting to hear that was made so many years ago, because I know Kaleena has been on this like journey to accept and be accepted by the dance music community in a way that has just like exploded. Now she's DJing, and she's really like coming into her own in this like scene. So it's very cool Absolutely. That you were warming her up to these, just not that she wasn't already into disco or whatever, but it sounded to me when it came out, I was like, wow, it's like another step forward in this evolution. And it's like, nah, bitch, like we done had this hit under our belt for 2 years. That's how it goes. No,
we just knew, we kept it in our back pocket, and we knew that it was going to be a great record to put out at some point, and honestly, her and I are actually similar in age, where we've been doing it a really long time, and she, had some really big records as a vocalist on DJs, other DJs records and stuff like that. But I think that this was really, we both acknowledged that it was time for the both of us to kind of get our shine in our respective ways. And, it was very intentionally like an equal collab, where, I wasn't going to make a move without her. She wasn't going to make one without me. And honestly, it was such a privilege and an honor to share a record with her, because I think she's truly one of the best in the biz right now. She's got a voice like Whitney. She's got a presence like a full on rock star DJ and everything. Not even a DJ, just a rock star. She's incredible. Yeah, so yeah. I think she's just getting started too. So I love her.
Yeah, I concur with all of that. And I also concur with you getting your fucking shine as well. And that reminds me that we have your first Party Pupils song that we can play for the people, because why is that memorable for this very moment, Ryan?
Well, today is the anniversary of the day we put out Miss Jackson. And it's what started it all for the project. Was a total fluke. Obviously, it's a cover, but we did our own thing with it, and it just went crazy viral, and kind of gave us Max and I like a little bonus career, as I say, because we started the project in 2016 straight up just from that song. We didn't really have any other real intentions of making it into a long-term thing or that. We kind of did the Miss Jackson cover as a fun little thing on some downtime, and we posted it, and all of a sudden like people are playing it in their DJ sets, everyone from like Jai Wolf to Louis the Child to Big Gigantic, and I mean it was like everywhere we went, it was just getting played, and I couldn't believe it, because I think at that point Max was starting to do a lot of features in the electronic world. And I was getting really heavily into electronic music just in general. And the timing was just perfect because,
you were working, I could be wrong. Were you working as a session musician? Is that what brought you to LA? Is that what you were doing in that? Because just give people some background on like what you were doing.
I've had like 9 lives in this industry, I think. I started, not to give the full Genesis story, but I mean, I started in rock bands. I was in my own bands, the lead singer, guitar player, from the time I was 13, 14 years old in middle school, and then into high school. And then, as time went on and I got to like college age, I started touring in those bands. Wow. And I for literally for years, I toured in my own bands, and I thought I was going to make it in my own band. around 2008, I joined another band that had gotten signed that I was working with, and that band kind of made me realize that like I was very happy being a kind of more of a session guy, like either session or touring guy, just not having to bear the burden of being the lead singer and the leader of the band and the main songwriter, all that stuff. I just wanted to play. I finally just wanted to tour. I love touring, and I love playing live. And I just wanted to do that more and get paid for it, because that was the other thing.
Yeah.
Being in a band, your own band that's not signed, it's like you're just losing money, in every which way. So I realized that, and then I became more of like a session person in studio and on the road, and all the while producing. I was mostly producing rock and pop, and then it was really like around 2010 that I started getting into electronic as a producer.
What was your doorway?
Actually, I can tell you what it was I discovered, pun intended, pun not intended actually this time, there was a record, well, it was a project called Discovery. And
yes! The dude from Vampire Weekend's band, side project.
Weekend
Osaka Loop Line.
Riot.
So fucking good!
Yes.
So fucking good!
They never put out another album.
Yeah.
It was just a one-time thing. And it was, late 2009. I found that album and I fell in love with it. And it's just so poppy, like very kind of all over the place, electronic. I guess I could call it like just kind of hyper pop or something like that. But
like almost proto hyper pop before hyper pop was like a thing people said and did, right?
Hard to really say what genre it was, but it was great. And so I found that one, and I got really into. Simultaneously got really into Toro y Moi. His first album, Causes of This, really, really made me like. This was pre-vaporwave when it was still called chillwave.
Yeah.
And so got really into that. And then I also got really into like Bibio and Lone and like other deeper artists in electronics. So I was really discovering so much music that was kind of stemming from an electronic based production. And so being that I'm a producer and a musician, of course, I wanted to sit down and kind of learn how a lot of that was made. And so I started experimenting and started making tunes on my own. And I started a project, just like a little bedroom project with a buddy of mine called X's of Evil. And it was my first electronic project where I was actually singing. And it was actually, the project was born out of a breakup that I was going through at the time. So that was like my way of dealing with it. And so that led me to really the production side. But to be honest with you, it was that project that really taught me a lot about making electronic. But by the time I started Party Pupils, I was really more into like funky disco and house and future funk, stuff that was way more rooted in like on the dance floor rather than just kind of like bedroom streaming music or whatever. And I was getting really into like Pomo. I had discovered K Tronada, Disclosure. It was stuff that was a little bit less quantized and a little bit funkier. And as a live musician, to me, like that was it. That was like the crossover. So like right around 2015, 2016, I started making kind of like funky house music. And then, 2016 was when I did the Miss Jackson cover, and the rest is history.
Okay, well, let's play the Miss Jackson cover so everybody can hear what we're talking about. I know some people in the chat have heard it a million times, and some people were surprised to hear you did a Miss Jackson cover. So we're going to play it, and then when we come back, we'll talk about these incredible sunglasses on your face. There's a whole element here that needs to be explored, okay?
Oh, yeah.
Miss Jackson.
Forever. Sorry, Miss Jackson. Sorry, Miss Jackson. I am for real. Never meant to make your daughter cry. I apologize a trillion times. Sorry, Miss Jackson.
Hey, we've just been over here kumbayaing. He doesn't just do covers of Outkast. He also does Incubus, ladies and gentlemen. What can't this man do?
Oh, I could, man. I definitely learned probably like the majority of Incubus's catalog back in like 2002.
Yo, all that make yourself, wish you were here, some good shit
God.
science. I'm into all of it. I was such a big Incubus fan. I definitely was like, I totally thought I was going to marry Brandon Boyd when I got older. And then like, I was into them before they got really big. And then they got really, really big. And then I went and saw them again. And the concert was like so much bigger. And there were all these girls screaming. And I was like, shut up! We want to hear him sing! But like, I was one of those girls. So it's like...
Yeah, he became such a heartthrob. I mean,
right?
He was the prototype for like the like shirtless white hippie, like white dreaded hippie.
I know.
And,
he seems somehow not as like awful as a lot of. Not that I'm like no shade to anybody who like wants to live that lifestyle, but there is something kind of weird about the like white dreaded hippie guy.
It was a different time. It was definitely a different time. And I'd say it's a little less socially acceptable now, but no, I mean, at that time it was just like, yeah, it's funny that the late 90s, growing up in the 90s, you really saw this
tribal
like,
tattoos, such a thing.
Clashing of cultures in like ways that like I think now maybe look a little bit cringe, but for me, I was just like, I was only like, let's see, I was 14 in 1998, so. My era of like dressing a certain way and thinking I was cool was probably more so like from 1999 to 2000.
Yeah.
Or
the
1999 to the 2000. And, but yeah, no, the Incubus era was very defined by the everybody growing their hair out, even people who shouldn't be growing their hair out. And I was pretty much one of them. And so there's definitely photos of me with like very Brandon Boyd-esque hair.
Hell yes. A man after my own
not
heart.
Recognizable. I'm like not at all. You would look at a photo of me from 2001 or 2 and be like, not you.
You know what? That's fair. I looked very different as well when I was in those years. I was like super goth kid in high school, which once a goth, always a goth. But like,
it's a mentality. It's a lifestyle.
It's really just about being a costume person at the end of the day. And like, I definitely am still a costume person, as you can see.
Costume.
Speaking of costumes, we're not just putting these sunglasses on to be crazy, wacky cool, even though we are crazy, wacky cool. There is a whole part of the Party Pupils history that goes with the sunglasses, and you promised to break it down, drop it to the ground.
Turn up the bass when you hear that sound. Yes. So I have three sets of glasses that I wear at any given time for shows.
Nice.
As most people know, or maybe don't know, I don't know, but I do have a part-time partner in this, which is Max.
That's right. Shout out Max. Happy birthday, Party Pupils, Max.
Yeah, that's right. When we DJ together, we wear these. We have matching pairs in our own colors. He's all pink. I'm all neon yellow. And so we wear these when we're together. I only wear these when we're together. And so that's like, this is the dynamic duo, the dream team glasses. So that's that for that. And then when I DJ solo, and it's a headlining show, I wear these.
Look at this like secret language with the glasses.
Yeah.
It's so cool.
These are the Prada headliners, as I call them.
Ooh, nice. Wait, are they actually Prada sunglasses too?
I mean, they might be Prada. You get them online for way too cheap.
Keeping it real, I love it.
Yeah, but I love those. They're super comfy, and I love the way they look. And then these are what I call my afters glasses, my like small venue lounge glasses. Or if I'm kind of keeping it a little bit more like Boca mixed with like, kind of just after hours lounge style. These are Populissime collab with Hassan Hajjaj, and they're Moroccan. I love it. Yeah, super fun. They got some Arabic on the side.
So sick. Joey Headset is
cool.
Impressed that you have shades for every occasion. We do love it.
Who is it?
Joey Headset is impressed. Also, all of them will cover your Party Pupils, should you not want anyone to know. how much of a
That's
good
true.
time you're having.
So so I'm sure now when you first heard my name or our name, what did you think of? Curious.
Mean, I am I am a party maniac survivor, so
Okay.
I think
See?
I enjoy the.
Yes.
I've
Okay.
definitely
So you
had a
got
few
that part of
moments
it.
in a mirror where I was just like,
Yep. Yeah. Very real.
sorry everyone at home that I just did that to the camera.
That's gonna be a good screenshot.
Yeah, that'll just be the cover of the YouTube.
Yeah. Just for sake of transparency, I don't do drugs anymore, and I never really did a lot of them anyway. But
That's
I
right.
don't smoke weed. But
Survive, keep your brain cells intact.
yeah, and I was only like a very, very light dabbler, and it was kind of a later in life type of thing where I only really did anything like that. I was 28 or 29 or something like that. So my brain was
It was
fully
just
formed.
peak EDM and everyone was doing it kind of vibes.
It was kind of maybe, but it wasn't like I did it at a festival for the first time. It was like I did it at a party, and it was almost by accident.
It's the best way. It's the best way.
And it was amazing. But no, as far as one of the main reasons why I actually do wear the glasses for gigs is because I do sometimes still, believe it or not, I still get a little bit of stage fright when it comes to DJing. Not when I perform like real instruments for some reason. Maybe just because I've been doing that so much longer.
Yeah.
But I don't want to look at, like, I don't want the crowd to be able to look at my eyes, and then I don't want to like lock eyes with anyone. I just want to be able to look wherever I want to look when I want to look and not look crazy. And so, that's one of the main reasons. Also because people love to now, the big thing is putting up their phone and asking to request songs.
Right.
And so as soon as someone sees that I saw them, then they're like,
ugh, rude.
Could you? And I'm like, I didn't see that. When I have glasses on, it's just like, oh, I didn't look at you. Because these are reflective. Those are reflective. Like, I only wear these when I know that I'm not going to be in the presence of people that are going to start throwing requests.
Right.
So it's a really good way to just kind of zone out visually and not have to look at not have to make eyes with people.
I appreciate that. I also, I don't understand. I feel like for all of time, since DJs first were born in the fucking 70s, New York, Brooklyn, or Bronx, whoever's story you believe, why the requesting? We all know this is a faux pas. When people enter clubs, we need to just sit them down and be like, look, check it out. Be nice to people. Don't ask the DJ to play nothing.
As I get older, I try to be more understanding of people in general and understanding people's intent and what they do. And one of the things that I realize is that being in the positions that you and I are, being on the inside of this world of music in so many ways, we kind of forget that most people have no concept of that.
They don't even know what DJing is half the time, too.
They don't. And there's a beauty to that because, that means that, when people start to get really pretentious or purist about DJing, they need to almost be reminded that at the end of the day, most people, I'd say 99% of people who are going to clubs are not there standing there being like, oh, I wonder if he has the sync button on, or oh, I wonder if this was was this a pre-made transition or whatever. And it's at the end of the day, it's still, a DJ can wear many hats, but I still see it as a performance. I see it as it's still an art form, as a performance art, depending on how you treat it. And I think that for most people in the club, they don't think of it like that. They're used to being at weddings and bar mitzvahs and stuff like that, where there's a DJ, and those types of DJs typically will take requests because they're getting paid a lot of money to not be the star. They're not there. They're not the main character in that situation. So I think where a lot of people, there's a part of what I think is going on in club culture now where people in the crowd want to be connected with the DJ and they want to be responsible for something going on stage or in the room. But no, I think it's the kind of thing where people just don't assume that that's not okay. And it's not that it's not okay. It's just that it puts me in a position to have to say no. And I don't like disappointing people, you know?
Right.
I don't, and it's not that I'm sitting here being like, oh, I've got this song on my drive, but I'm just not going to play it. Like, I am a DJ that makes my own stuff. So I very rarely play other people's music. And I certainly don't have a lot of I don't have full catalogs of other people, especially not current people, to where I can just pull it out of my, you know, I'm not connected to the internet up there. Maybe people think that we are.
Right.
And maybe some people are if they have like Serato and they have their laptop, but like I'm a USB DJ. Like I do not have the internet on stage.
I am now like imagining like as in response to all of this kind of culture of requesting, it would be funny if someone just went on like a Total Request live tour and just like it strictly was like, I will do any request you ask me to.
You know, it's funny you say that because I actually think it is a brilliant idea to do.
Right?
Well, they kind of call that like open aux night sometimes. Like I know Brownies Lemonade kind of does something similar like that, but where I have thought about that where anytime something starts to become what I call like a, you know, what people call like a bug and not a feature, it's like, oh, this is a thing that we're dealing with. This is a problem that we're encountering. Well, how do we turn the problem into the solution? Yeah. And in a lot of ways, you know, I can't solve the problem of playing, you know, if I don't have Chainsmokers on my USB drive, I can't play Chainsmokers. I'm sorry. It's not that I don't like the Chainsmokers. I just don't have them on my USB drive.
I'm mad at you.
So you know, so that's the thing. But no, I think that it would be brilliant. I'm not saying I'm going to be the one to do it, but it would be brilliant if someone did kind of like take the piss out of the whole request culture that's coming up, and then all of a sudden you have a room full of phones of people, and it's encouraged.
Yeah, that would be really fun. That would be really fun.
But until that happens, if you come to see Party Pupils and you hold up a sign that says "Closer" by the Chainsmokers, I'm gonna give you a mildly dirty look.
But they won't even know because you're gonna have your hater blockers on.
Now. Again, I don't. The holding up of the phone thing is just slightly irritating and whatever. But at least it's, you know, you can ignore it. When people come up in the booth, that's when I'm like, nope. This is my area. This is my stage. Get the fuck out of here. Don't you come tapping me on the shoulder. That's when I like, unless you're the promoter or someone with the promoter, and I have to play it cool. Like when random, especially it's always some like random drunk girl. And I'm not gonna discriminate. It's drunk guys too.
Yeah, it's so many drunk.
You got any John Summit? Nah, man, I don't. Sorry. Get the fuck out of here. You know. What? Bro, go home. Go to Spotify. Go in your car.
It's true.
Don't come into the booth. I'm not going to come into your work and start asking for things, you know, that you don't have. Like, come behind the counter and be like, you know, go ahead. If you work at McDonald's, am I going to go behind the counter and be like, you got any sushi? Fuck out of here.
It's true. Fucking love it. Rant done.
Yeah, rant over. But yeah.
So what is the genesis of the Kappa, all Kappa tracksuit? I mean, look, the look is divine. I'm just like, why Kappa?
Kappa happened to be just the company that I was, especially when I really started committing to the neon, which was not long after we started the project. Kappa was making a lot of neon stuff, and I love the brand because they are so 90s. Yeah. And it's like it's like 90s Italo Eurotrashy.
Yes. God, I fucking love Eurotrash everything. I don't know why I love it so much.
Soccer hooligan, kind of like, you know, club culture. It's like it's just very like tracksuits, and it's just, you know, it's a vibe, and I love it, and I think it really fit the music. And so Kappa was kind enough to give me a lot of free stuff.
Did they? Good. I was gonna ask, like, yo, have they like hat tips? They recognize? Me up. That's what's up.
They hooked it up. Like everything that I wear on stage was free.
That's a good flex. We love a free stage look flex.
Ooh, so do I. But also, though, I am concerned because I haven't seen any of their new stuff hasn't been in this color at all. So I'm like, okay, well, because like all these, I've worn this tank top at so many shows. I've got 2 of them, and both of them kind of have like stains on them from whatever.
No,
like
yeah.
we're getting to the point where it's not going to be a good look very soon. So I'm gonna have to hit Kappa and be like, look, can you start sending me any of your back, whatever you stock that you have, if you have anything, just give me all of it. Like, just give me all. I'll even pay for it if it means anything. Just, I can't, if I run out of this stuff, I'm gonna have to start looking elsewhere. And I have other like outfits from like Nike. I've got Umbro, which is another classic 90s soccer, brand. I've even got this sick tank, this like sleeveless zip up from LL Bean.
Ooh.
And the funniest thing about when I got that was that I actually went to an LL Bean store in Chicago last summer, and the lady working there walked up to me as I was looking at it, and she goes, "Oh, are you an avid runner?" And I went, I literally did that. I responded with, and I was like, "Whoa. That was rude. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to like."
Oh no, it was mostly rude to yourself though. I'm low key,
well,
like
I'm like, lady, I'm telling you right now that I'm only running if I'm running from something or someone.
You're just like, I run the track.
Yeah, no, I'm not running. But no, I was like, no, I'm a performer. I'm a DJ. This is my color. And she goes, "Oh, that's cool." But yeah, that was funny because LL Bean to me is such like an earth tone company.
I would have never guessed.
But no, I walked in and I was like, I'm buying that. So that's been my. I've been going more towards that for the sleeveless stuff, just because it's a little bit more comfortable and it's less beat up. So
yeah, people in the chat though are supporting a stained look. They are supporting stained swag if it gets that desperate. Yeah,
it's like it's one of those annoying. Like I don't know where it's from, but it's like
always.
Go see it, but no, I've definitely got like my outfits have been taking a licking. That's for sure. It's a lot of sweat. I mean, if you've ever seen any of my sets, it's like 2 hours of just pure sweat cardio.
Yeah. So there you go. You're exercising. Yeah. Tell that lady you're athletic.
That's my cardio, for sure. But like getting up and running, like the thought of doing that, like willingly, is insane to me.
Well,
my knees have left the chat.
Yeah, right. They're gone. You are, you were around in the 2000s, so this cartilage has seen better days. I'm right there with you. It's just, we can only try. I do love that you kind of mentioned, though, like trying to stave off the oh so serious element that can come with this world. And I love that you never seem like you're taking yourself too seriously. And I'm sure that like wearing the neon yellow and the glasses, and that's all part of kind of keeping the sacred fun of it together. But like,
100%.
Yeah, talk to me about just how you keep yourself grounded in that feel good energy now that you're 6 years into the project and it did suddenly become something cool and successful and something that you can keep going. So
yeah, no, thanks. Yeah, I actually, the reason why I love wearing this and this being my color is that it does represent a mentality that I really try to keep when performing and when being a part of this project in any capacity, is that it was started from just pure fun. And I believe that the dance culture, dance music in general, has to have an element of fun.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you're missing the point.
Totally.
And I respect all kinds of artists in electronic, because electronic doesn't necessarily mean dance.
Right.
I am vehemently I'm like, when people are like, "Oh, what's your genre?" I'm like, "I'm dance music." It's like what EDM has taken on its own thing in its own way, and I don't care if people call us EDM, whatever. But like, dance music specifically is disco, funk, house. These are elements and genres that are made to make people dance and have a good time. It's not that serious.
Yeah.
And I think that one of the things that I always like to say is that I don't always feel that way. Like everybody else, like I have my bad days, I have my bad moods. There's times where I'm just not feeling it, and but once I put this outfit on, once I put this color on, I immediately feel better, and I know that I'm in the character of Party Pupils. Like this is I'm the neon dawn. Like the it's meant to be, leave all your shit behind, don't take life so seriously, go make people happy, and do what you love. That's the entire MO of the project.
Fucking here. I love that. And I love that idea of like it being like rainbow armor. Like I can put this on and remember the point of it all. Is so great.
Absolutely. No, it's so important because, I've been in other musical projects where there's no dress code and there's like kind of just this like lackadaisical idea of just like, I can pull up to the gig and just play in whatever clothes I'm in. And it's like, I put so much effort into what I do as a performer and anything that I do performing. But, especially with Party Pupils, there's so much work that goes into creating a show and a set that is full of energy and is made to make people happy. There's nothing accidental about it.
Yeah.
And and my approach, I always look at other DJs that are just so casual about pulling up and, they don't even have like, their music is not even organized. They have a drive full of music and they're just going to start selecting whatever they feel. And I'm like, that's cool. And I do that sometimes, but no matter what, the way that my mind works is that I need to be prepared to do these kinds of shows and to kind of get in the zone of this because, it is a lot. Like I even like the anticipation of a show can be so exhausting because I just know that for that amount of time, whether it be an hour, 2 hours, whatever it is, that I am completely committed to one thing. And that is making people dance, making people happy, bringing a ton of energy. If I don't do those things, I fail.
Oh, what a great goal. What a worthy goal, though, like, especially in our weird ass lives.
Yeah.
Clearly, Blurry is giving mad respect. So
cool.
Thanks for doing it.
It's important, and look, everybody's got their own way of doing things. I respect anyone, however you succeed, whatever your idea of success is, I respect it. But at the end of the day, my idea of success is just making people happy and making people dance and being consistent with that. That's all it is, consistency.
Well, you are doing such a great job. I honestly was shocked that you dropped Break It Down because I feel like you just dropped Me Without You and they're just like back-to-back bangers. I feel like
thank you.
The project is like super on fire right now. I mean, it sounds like maybe you've been sitting on a lot of music and it's all getting to come out. Yeah. Yeah,
this was a weird year for me in a lot of ways, personally, and kind of with the project. It was just, it was the first full year back after COVID of touring. So I did a lot more tours and gigs, and that was kind of my focus, was like really trying to get back on the road as much as possible.
And you toured with Max on stage, right? During Max's
that's my full time. That's technically my full time job. Yeah, I'm his MD. I'm bass player, guitar player, backup singer, all kinds of stuff. That's so on top of all this, I've got my day job, which I say respectfully and lovingly.
I love that this is like night job.
Yeah, well, I mean, really, it is like Max gigs are always like before, like they're usually before or at 9 p.m.
Yeah,
I'm taking a nap at 9 p.m. for a Party People's gig at midnight or 1 a.m. So definitely, a very evening and night type thing. But no, I mean, it was definitely a weird year where we had some transition stuff that had to happen within the project, and there was a lot of music made that still has not come out yet. But no, now we're finally starting. We have like a proper release schedule that we're going to stick to, and it should take us right through 2023. There's tons of music. Remixes, an EP, definitely more mixes.
That's so exciting.
We just had to kind of regroup a little bit this year.
Fair.
And so it was just one of those years. But nope, full steam ahead.
That's awesome. I also completely and totally relate to that. I really am like thankful that, with this project in particular, anything that I'm doing for myself, like I think it's great when you can give yourself that space too and just be like checking in honestly with myself. I need to get some shit in order. And then I will like jump back into everything. And I'm excited to hear that you're in the full steam ahead moment as well.
Yeah, same. No, I was really excited to especially these last two singles. Like, for
banger after banger.
Thank you so much. No, I appreciate it. I'm glad you like them.
Dinosaur Shoddy wants to know if you saw Julia Plays Grooves on YouTube do a bass cover of Wasabi.
No, but I need to see that.
I'll make sure you get the link.
Yeah. No, I must be slamming because I mean, yeah, I actually played bass on that record, so I want to from bass player to bass player.
Yes.
I would love to see that.
Do you have a favorite instrument? How many instruments do you actually play in total, and do you have a favorite?
Yeah, I play 4 instruments, I guess. So it's guitar, bass, keys, drums, and then I sing. So I don't know if that's
Sure, that counts.
So 5, I guess. Yeah, I don't play any wind instruments. It's just I can play the whole rhythm section. It's just nothing horn or wind or even orchestral. It's like I can play a little bit of upright bass. I have.
Nice.
I'm not great, but I'm functional. But yeah, no. My favorite instrument though is at this point probably bass.
Nice.
Because it's like I always played bass. Like I started learning bass about a year or so after I learned how to play guitar.
Nice.
And I just never really got to play bass in a band. I was always more of like a studio bass player. And then it wasn't until I started playing with Max, and really only in the last few years, where it started making more sense for me to play bass on stage.
Cool.
Rather than guitar.
It's such a funky instrument too. Like, you walk into a good bass line and like. Talk about the dance music that you make. It's all about bass lines, like.
Yeah.
So good.
And that's actually where I think my bass playing has kind of improved over the last couple of years, because I've been really integrating live bass, not only into the live show for Max, but also for a lot of Pupils records. I love live bass on top of kind of some of the electronic stuff. So, if I'm not playing synth bass, which I always end up like, I love playing all this stuff. Like I really don't program the tracks. I play it and then I edit. So yeah, synth bass is like one of my favorite things in the world to play and record, and then live bass is like, just so much fun. Playing a little slap the bass.
Slap the bass, you got to. Well, it's nice to know that you do, in fact, play the drums, because when we had Patlock on I say we, like there's anyone else fucking here, but when we had Patlock on the program, and he was like, yeah, Ryan can really do it all, except for drums for some reason.
He said that about me?
He said that.
Well, little does he know.
I don't think he meant it shady, but he did also tell me that he likes, y'all dig on each other a lot, so maybe that was a low-key dig.
That might have been, but I'm trying to think. I'm like, when have I ever played drums in his presence? But I actually haven't. No,
you'll have to show him now.
I don't like to brag around like that, but like I actually just filled in for my own drummer for Max. We played 2 festivals in the UK back in June, and our drummer couldn't make it, so I put the bass parts that I normally play. I put them on the track, and we had our keyboard player there too. So he played keys like normal. And I put the bass on the track, and then I played drums like at Isle of Wight Fest and Parklife Fest, like real festivals. Like,
I will have you know that I fucking slam on the drums.
I did it. I killed it. I'm just gonna be honest. Like I did it. I was nervous as hell, but like no, I've been playing drums since I was 12. So like, no,
yeah. That's so funny. Well, he really didn't say it in a way that was like, except for drums, but he was just like, I just don't know, I don't know. Maybe he does.
Oh yeah, no, I'm gonna have to rip a solo for him now, just to prove a point.
You will, but he had nothing but wonderful things to say. He did say that he's seen you use the sync button too, though, and now you make fun of him.
I was about to literally be like, you know what? If Pat keeps talking shit, I'm gonna leave the sync button on every time we go back to back just to piss him off. Yeah, whatever. That's like I feel like that's like the iPhone versus Android battle.
It
like,
totally.
Just 2 different people. Like
yeah.
I use I use the sync button, but you know what? My shit's never out of sync, and nobody cares.
Nobody cares.
Yeah.
We already had some sync support in the chat earlier when we were talking about
I don't, that's like funny because I Pat and I love to roast each other about that. And I think one of the reasons why he roasted me about it is because the first time him and I ever went back to back, I think it was on a rooftop. Maybe it was even at like the Standard or something like that in LA. He was DJing, it was his gig. And he was like, just pull up, plug in whenever and we can go throw a few tunes down. And I was like, all right, cool. So like and this was actually before I was like really using CDJs because I was able to.
You've only been DJing for like 6 years or whatever.
Yeah, not too long. And so I immediately like put my drive in, put the sync button on, and I didn't know this, but I guess sometimes there's an issue where the sync button won't come off.
Oh.
And I've never experienced that even to this day. But
I don't certainly know.
he like gets on to throw his song on, and he's like hitting the button. He goes, "Oh, what'd you do that for?" And I go, "What?" And he's like, "You put the sync button on." I go, "Is that bad?" I was like, "Just turn it off." He goes, "Well, it won't turn off." And I was like, "Oh." I was like, "You don't use sync?" He goes, "No, man, I don't." He wasn't even like mad. He was just like, "Oh, you're that guy, huh?" And I was like, "I'm not a real DJ."
That is so funny. I love it. Yeah, he was telling us that you guys have a nice little back and forth about this. You can let him know I brought it. I dug up the old grudge once again.
Oh, it's classic for us. Yeah. No, we've been roasting each other on that one for at least 4 years now.
Well, I'm so glad that I was able to finally get you here on the show. I really appreciate you for following up about it too, and just being such a mensch and like, we gotta get me on because I couldn't make it, and like it's been such a fucking pleasure having you. Truly, you're a wonderful guest.
Thank you. Likewise, honestly, I appreciate your time, and I love doing these things. I don't do a whole lot of them, and I'm kind of choosy, so I love to have conversations with cool people, and thank you. I really appreciate your time.
I so look forward to catching a Party People set out there in the world. Are you planning anything in particular right now? I know you said that you've got a lot of things planned for releases in the next, to the next year, which is great, and we'll all be looking out for. But any chance you would be coming to the East Coast anytime soon, or are you going into holiday break?
Well, I'll be in New York. We're doing a big show in New York on Saturday.
Nice.
We're doing Pier 17, which is an incredible rooftop in New York City. We're playing at sunset, so it's going to be
beautiful.
Insanely beautiful. We're planning some stuff. Definitely, we're doing a Max tour starting October 17th, and that takes us through to mid-December. So we're going to be trying to do some Party People's like after parties.
That's going to be so fun. You can do the Max show and then do the Party People's after party. I'd be doing back to back. I'd be back to back.
Yep. That's kind of the plan right now. And then, we're definitely, we'll see some stuff. I haven't been to your neck of the woods since March.
It's when everyone comes. There's also Art Basel, I know that that's not up to you. I have to write my local promoter and beg for a Party People set, but I will do my best.
I'll be honest, I have a weird negative relationship with Florida. I don't particularly love playing there, but it's only because for personal reasons. It's something about it is a bad omen. Every time I come home from a Party People's gig in Florida, something bad happens. In life, and like if I go down the list, you'll be like, "Oh yeah, okay, there's definitely something weird."
Oh my god! Well, we're gonna listen. Yeah. I'll sage the entire state after this conversation. I'll just like refresh. I'm back. Maybe it's because I was gone. I don't know. I'll bring some of the. I don't know how far back your Miami relationship goes, but I haven't been here since 2017. Well, then that must be the problem. It's okay.
There we go.
I'll clean everything out for you.
Perfect. I'm telling you this now. I'm only going back there for you.
Oh, because you're there
now, and you have, in my opinion, we're just going to give it the benefit of the doubt that it was because you were not there, and that your presence in the state has cleansed.
It'll make all the difference. It'll make all the difference. Well, I tell you what, I'll look out for those Max dates. I'd love to come and see y'all do your thing on both sides. Maybe I could make a fun adventure out of it and make a little vlog and cover it for my newsletter. I'm really going to try to do more fun adventure stuff like that, so I'll have to come find you in the streets.
You do. I know with that tour we will be in South Florida. I don't know when the date is, but you will definitely be our guest if you were around. We would love to have you.
Oh my God! Yeah, I'll make sure I'm around. That would be so awesome because I'd love to see a Mac show as well. Like I bet it'll just be sick all the way around.
It's a different kind of party. But it is a party.
Yeah,
it's truly another like Max and I are both just all about bringing the energy for live shows.
Yeah,
and
I get that.
It's a really really good time.
You're both like really colorful characters, and not just because you wear the outfits, not just because you're wearing the tracksuits.
Yeah, no, it's a reflection of who we are, really. Yeah. That's what it's all about.
Okay, well, let's file that one away. Let's promise to do it, and we'll do something fun, and then I'll get to chat with both of you, and that'll be its own really fun back and forth as well.
Would love that. Thank you, Kat. You're the best.
Thank you, Ryan. You're the best. Okay, I'm going to put on one more pair of sunglasses for you on the way out.
All right.
Wait, I almost put them on over my regular glasses. These ones are really cool. Are you ready?
Yes. What you got? Whoa, Batgirl. Right? Batgirl or Catwoman?
I mean, it's Cat Girl now because I guess girl. I'm Cat.
Wow, we've had some good puns today. Very good.
The pun game has been strong. The pun game has been strong.
Yeah. Very good. Very good. I love those. Wow. They work really well with because that's like your hair is kind of like the Batman, like, it's like Batman green or like the Joker. So
it kind of is, right?
It works in that universe for sure. It's perfect.
Whenever I actually live out, go full villain, this will be the look. When I finally snap. Live your villain story.
I love that.
I've already got the psycho laugh down. Okay. Yes, Ryan. So fucking great. So great having you. Thank you so much. I can't wait to run into you soon. And it'll be a good Florida trip this time, I promise.
Yes, I have faith. It's in your hands.
No pressure. All right. Thank you so much. I'll see you.
All right. Take care. Thank you guys.